Swat carving is an ancient art that goes back 2,000 years in modern-day Pakistan. It can take up to 7 wood carvers and 25 days to complete a large piece. A small mistake could ruin it all. The unique Gandhara style features a blend of Buddhist and Greco-Roman influences. At one point, this form of wood carving was a thriving industry in Swat Valley, a region near the Afghanistan border. But many artisans, including the Mustan family, fled after Taliban forces took control of Swat in 2007. Now in its third location, the shop continues to face challenges. We visited their traditional workshop to see how it's still standing. The Mustan's workshop is called Zarshal. It sits in Lahore, about 300 miles away from their original home, but they still keep many of the same traditions.
हमने सोचा भी कुछ दिनों में हालात ठीक हो जाएंगे, लेकिन हालात बहुत खराब से खराबतर हो रहे थे.
Abdul Mustan runs it with his 2 oldest sons, Zainul Abdin and Ziauddin.
बस मेरी तो इतनी कोशिश है कि मैं यही पे लोगों को सिखाता रहूँगा जितना मुझसे हो सकता है, ताकि ये चीज़ कभी गायब ना हो दुनिया से, हमेशा चलती है, जैसे सदियों से चलते आ रहे हैं ऐसे ही आगे भी चलता जाए.
Workers start by cutting the wood into smaller pieces. They use both electric saws and hand saws. A small mistake could ruin the planned design. They sand the wood down, and then they plane it, making the surface smooth, clean, and flat. Next comes the most difficult part, carving. Workers need to sharpen their tools until they can cut like razor blades.
काम तो ये ख़तरनाक भी है और छोटे वगैरह लगते हैं. मुझे भी खुद ही तकरीबन तो ये 3-4 बार लग गई.
Some craftsmen don't have to plan out a design. It can take up to 5 years just to learn the basics.
इस चीज़ में तो कोई मास्टर बन ही नहीं सकता, ठीक है, क्योंकि एक पॉइंट पे है कि चीज़ ऐसी आ जाएगी कि उसके लिए आप हम लाजमी बात है आपको सोचना पड़ जाएगा.
Before the finishing touches, Zarshal sends the carved pieces to a shop in Islamabad for painting. Workers assemble and finalize them here once they return. They treat the wood with potassium. This solution gives off a bright red hue when first applied. The color will turn brown as it dries, giving it an antique look. Then they apply furniture polish. Finally, they coat each piece with a sealant before sending it off to customers. A large item like this dining table can cost up to 150,000 Pakistani rupees. The intricate and tight patterns are what set Swat carving apart from others.
आप जहाँ भी देखेंगे इसमें zigzag होगा, मतलब ऊंचाई और नीचे और ये खामखा इसमें होगा.
Gandhara style originates from the Buddhist civilization that spread through the region in the 3rd century BC. Swat Valley, the birthplace of this carving style, was once a part of it. To this day, the Buddhist influence is evident in Swati carving's grid-like order, which gives a sense of harmony and balance. Even as borders and cultures changed over hundreds of years, the art survived. Abdul established his first shop in the Kwazakela area of Swat Valley in 1996 after he retired from the Pakistani army. But the Taliban occupied the region in 2007 and shut down many forms of arts and entertainment. The shop started receiving threats. Abdul himself was a target. As a retired soldier, he was considered an enemy of the Taliban.
सब लोग मुझे फौजी लाला के नाम से पुकारते थे. मेरा असल नाम बहुत कम लोग जानते हैं, तो उस वक्त जो है वो निकलना मुश्किल हो गया था.
The Pakistani army drove out the Taliban in 2009, but Abdul still worries now that the extremist group has regained control of Afghanistan. Still, these aren't the only hurdles for the family. Raw materials are scarce and expensive, and the pandemic has slowed down business, forcing some shops to close. Abdul says most of his customers today are wealthy locals. And fewer artisans are learning the trade because sales are scarce and the pay is so low. Abdul even discouraged his youngest son from joining the business. Like some workers in Pakistan, the employees at Zarshal all live, eat, and work together at the shop. That's why it's common for them to work long hours. Air conditions are risky too. Sawdust fills the air. Despite it all, Ziauddin plans on teaching the skill to people in the surrounding areas so that his love of the craft can continue.
तो अल्लाह ना करे कभी ये काम ख़त्म हो जाए, ठीक है, क्योंकि ये एक तो लकड़ी का जो भी चीज़ लकड़ी की बनी हो तो एक लकड़ी एक नेचुरल चीज़ है, उसकी अपनी एक खूबसूरती है। लकड़ी का कोई भी चीज़ बना हो वो मुझे पर्सनली तो बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छी लगती है। मैं चाहता हूँ मेरे घर में कोई भी चीज़, कोई भी मुझे पत्थर की दीवार नज़र ना आए, हर एक जगह पे बस लकड़ी लगी हुई है, वो तो मुझे इतना प्यार है लकड़ी से।